Hello there, and thanks for joining me at my tying bench once again. And today's tutorial, I'm going to tie you up in a tractor streamer pattern. This is a pattern I come up with myself, and it's just I call it the yellow-red marabou streamer, excuse me. And as some of you probably know, yellow seems to be a real good color for brown trout, and that's why I come up with this pattern, and I've had some luck on it. Seems to be a good attractor pattern to throw on when nothing's going on. So I thought you might like to see this guy tied up. So I'll show you. I'll get this guy the vise, a fresh hook in here, and I'll get going for you. The hook is a Mustad 78950 standard streamer hook. I got a size 6 here. I'm going to tie him on. So we'll get that locked down in the vise here. Okay, the first thing I'll do is start my thread. I'm using UTC 70 denier in the red. So just gonna adjust that hook here a little bit more. There we go, that's better. Okay. Alrighty, so we'll start just behind the eye here, about an eye length or so. And we're just gonna lay down our thread base. Gonna keep working back towards the point of the hook here. I'll snip that tag end out of there, and we'll stop about in front of the hook point. Yeah, okay, now the tail is simply red and yellow saddle hackle fibers combined, and you just peel off. I peel off a small bunch of each. Take a bunch of red off, and then take some off the yellow. About equal amounts is what you want. Okay, I get some off the yellow here. Then we'll just simply take the red ones and the yellow ones, and we'll combine them together. The way I do that is just hold them in my fingers like so here. Just like that, and then I just snip those curly ends off, and then I'll just roll them in your fingers back and forth, and that'll mix them up for you. Okay, and then I got it mixed up a little. I'm going to measure that up to about the length of the hook gape, and I'll tie those guys in, pinch them on there, and we'll wrap back on those guys to about above the barb, just like so. And there's our tail, and we'll bind those excess fibers down good, and we're going to bring our thread back up to where we started our thread there on the hook, just about. Okay, now the body is material similar to crystal chenille, but it's called estaz, and I'm using a yellow. So I'll tie that in. What I'll do is tie it in. You can use, if you don't have this, you can use yellow crystal chenille for substitute. Okay, I'm going to tie this on top here, catch it in right on top, and wrap back to right in front of my tail there. Okay, there we go. Put that in the material, clip it out of the way, then wrap back forward once again, and we'll stop our thread there in the same spot. I'm going to throw in a half hitch. Okay, alrighty, now I'm going to bring my bobbin cradle over and take a little bit of head cement and just put a little bead along the shank there to make this fly a little more durable. Okay, alrighty, now grab a hold of that and we'll start to wrap the body. I'm going to get that first strap right in front of my tail, and when I wrap this stuff, I'm going to leave a little, a little bit of the red showing in between each wrap on purpose. I just want a little bit of that red showing through. So in other words, I'm not putting my wraps tight against one another, just leaving a slight space between them. And we'll wrap that up forward, just like so here, till we get to where we want to tie them off. One more wrap and I'll tie this guy off here. Swing that cradle back out of the way. Alrighty, now I'm going to come up underneath and tie this guy off here. Okay, now come in, move the thread back out of the way, snip him out, the excess, and then I'll take several snug wraps to secure that in real well. Alrighty, so there's our tail and our body. Now I'll flip my hook up around and put the throat on. Just got a little fiber there I want to snip out, if I can get a hold of him. He's being stubborn now. Okay, and it's the same as the tail. We'll take some more red saddle hackle fibers. Yeah, set those down, then I'll grab some yellow. Just like so. Okay, grab the red ones I got down here. Alrighty. Now we'll just do the same thing again. Just roll them in my fingers, mix them up a little here. They don't have to be totally mixed, as long as they're mixed up a little is fine. Now I'm going to bring that in about halfway down on the shank. Come up around, pinch that on. Wrap back on it a ways, then forward. And there's our throat. And I'm going to come in and snip off the excess. Just like so here. One more fiber to get. There we go. Then I'll secure that with several snug wraps. Okay. Flip the hook back up around. Now we have our tail, body, and throat attached. Next step is to attach our wing. And I have one yellow marabou palm and one red. So tie the yellow in first, and of course we all know marabou is much easier to work with if you wet it, so I just wet my fingers and stroke the fibers back. Just much easier to handle and tie in. Just like so here. And I'm going to measure that back to, I want that to be about even with the tail, because if you go too long you'll get fouling when you're fishing the fly. It'll wrap around the hook on you. So I'm going to come down around and pinch this one on top, lift up on the wing, wrap back on it a few wraps. Okay, just like so. Now I'll take my red one, do the same thing. Going to wet that down here once I pull some of these shorter fibers off. Alrighty. Okay, that's ready to tie in. Now I'll set that on right on top of the yellow. Just like so. Same deal. Come out with a pinch wrap. Bring that loop down between my fingers. Then I'm going to lift up on the wing. I'm going to wrap back slightly on it. Just like so. Okay. Then forward once again, a couple of snug wraps. Pull down tight. Okay. Have a look. Make sure it's right on top of the yellow. Looks good. Okay, then I'm going to come in with my scissors here. And I'm going to snip that all off on a slight angle here. Just like so. Come in with my scissor points and get that excess off there nice and close. Alrighty. That looks good there. Okay, so all we got left to do now is build the head up on this guy. And what I'm going to do is take a little drop of head cement, put on those butt ends of the marabou there, let that soak in a bit, and then we'll begin to build the head on this guy. I'm just letting that soak in a little. I know it's just something about this yellow and red combination the brown trout seem to like. I've caught some pretty decent browns on it. Okay, So next we'll just take our thread here and move it in right behind the eye, and we'll begin to build the head on this guy. Just to cover up our butt ends of the marabou as we go here. We want to get that all bound down nice and tight. Form a little tapered head here. Okay, that looks good right there. Check the other side now. All we got left to do is our whip finish, and he's a done deal, except for a coat of UV resin on him. So I'll grab my whip finisher here as soon as I find it. And I'll use this one here. Okay, I've found it. Okay. Now we'll just get a 4 or 5 turn whip finish on this guy. Or I should say probably more like 6 or 7, I would say, but alrighty. That's fine right there. Pull that in there nice and tight. Okay, hold everything there, and I'm just gonna pull down nice and tight with thread. Alright, then I'll come in and snip off the excess. Just like so. And you'll see once that marabou dries again, it spreads out there to give you a nice full wing. So there we have it, folks. Another size 6 yellow-red marabou streamer. Like I was saying, I've found it to be a very good attractor pattern. Those color this particular color combination, the yellow and red. So next, I'll just take a little bit of UV bone dry solar res here, and we'll put that on our head of the fly here. Just work that around. Just be careful not to get any on the marabou if you can. Okay, that looks fine. Alrighty, we'll just give that a little turn here. Cure this guy up. Okay, that looks good there, and that should do it. Okay, he's a done deal. So if you have these particular materials, and I definitely tie a few of these guys and add them to your box and give them a try. Let's see if I can get a close-up on them here for you, folks. I guess that's still, yeah, it's still good and clear there. Okay, so like always, I want to thank you all so much for watching. And if you haven't seen my videos and this is the first time and you'd like to subscribe, I'd appreciate the support a lot. I'd thank you a lot for that. And also throw in a like too if you wish. And until next time, folks, happy tying out there. I shall see you all again soon, and so long for now.